Imagine a woman alone, lost in the desert. The relentless sun scorches her skin. The water left in her canteen isn't enough to quench her thirst, and each step she takes seems to drain what little energy she has left. She carries a heavy backpack filled with dreams that, at this point, seem useless. The desert sand offers no mercy, burying her feet as the dry wind whispers in her ears. Give up. But she doesn't stop. Her feet, though aching, keep moving forward. Her heart beats fiercely, not just from the effort, but from something deeper, a promise. Before she began this journey, she made a vow to herself that she would make it to the other side, no matter the cost, no matter the time. This fight wasn't just about survival. It was about proving to herself that she could win. And then, on the horizon, a miracle. A thin green line appears, breaking the endless golden expanse of the desert. It's the oasis. It's the place she fought for with every fiber of her being. When she gets there exhausted, dirty, but alive, she looks back and understands. The pain she felt was nothing compared to the pride of reaching her destination. That's life. All of us face deserts, storms, and paths that seem impossible. But you know what's incredible? No matter how dry and desolate the desert is, it doesn't last forever. Pain is temporary, but what you do while walking through it, that's what lasts. Now, let me ask you, what's your desert? What are you fighting for right now? Write it in the comments. Share it. Because your story might be the oasis someone else needs to keep going. Pain is a companion no one invites, but it always shows up at some point in the journey. It can be physical, emotional, or even silent, like that emptiness that fills your heart when something doesn't go as planned. Think of pain as a sculptor. When they begin their work, all we see is a raw block of stone. Each hammer strike can seem destructive, as if the block is being broken without purpose. But over time, those strikes reveal something extraordinary. A shape, a meaning, a masterpiece. Pain is that hammer. It breaks us, but it also shapes us. How many times have you felt like you couldn't go on? Maybe you lost a job, faced betrayal, or struggled with a lack of opportunities. But think about this. You're here now, listening to these words. That means you survived. And if you survived, it means there's something inside you stronger than any pain you face. But before we can transform pain into strength, we have to acknowledge it. We have to understand that feeling pain isn't weakness. It's human. Ignoring it only prolongs the suffering. Acknowledging it is the first step toward transformation. Now, I want you to reflect. What was the hardest moment you've ever faced? That experience that felt impossible to overcome? If you're comfortable, share it in the comments. Your story could show someone else that pain isn't the end. It's the beginning of something greater. Pain, my friend, is like an old teacher. It doesn't speak with soft words. It doesn't give us easy advice. Instead, it teaches us in silence, in those moments when we're alone with our thoughts, in those times when everything feels lost. It's in those moments that pain offers us its most valuable gift, wisdom. Many people avoid it, pretending it doesn't exist. But here's a secret that few understand. There's no growth without pain. Think of a tree. To grow, its roots must break through hard soil, face the rocks hidden beneath the ground. Pain is like that. It forces us to dig deep, to expand our essence toward what is stronger and more enduring. But here's something that perhaps no one has told you. Pain on its own has no power. What truly matters is what you do with it. Some let it wither their souls, allowing suffering to dim the light of their dreams. And then there are those who embrace it as a challenge, as a fire that refines gold. They don't ask for the pain to leave. Instead, they ask, what are you trying to teach me? Life has never been about avoiding pain. It's always been about what we do while it's here. Some of humanity's greatest achievements were born in moments of pain. Think about this. Beethoven composed some of his masterpieces while completely deaf. Nelson Mandela endured decades of imprisonment, but emerged with a vision of forgiveness that changed the world. It wasn't their circumstances that defined them. It was what they did with them. Now I ask you, what lesson is pain trying to teach you today? Don't run from it. Don't fight it. Look within yourself and ask, how can I use this to become stronger, more resilient, more human? And if you can, share with me. What was the hardest moment that transformed you? Your answer could be the relief someone else needs. Write it in the comments and help someone who might be going through the storm right now. There comes a moment in every journey when we're faced with a choice. It's not an easy choice, and it often doesn't come with clear answers. It's the moment when pain arrives with all its force, challenging us to decide, will you let this stop you, or will you use this pain as fuel to keep going? Think of life as a fork in the road. When pain arises, it presents two paths. One leads to complacency, to giving up. It's the path many choose because it seems easier at first. The other is the harder path. It demands strength, sacrifice, and courage. But it's on this path that great legacies are built. Let me share something with you. Have you ever heard about how coal turns into a diamond? The only difference between an ordinary piece of coal and a brilliant diamond is pressure. Coal, under intense and constant pressure, undergoes a process that transforms it into something rare and valuable. Adversities that pressure in our lives. It can crush you, or it can transform you into something you never imagined you could become. But here's the truth. The choice is yours. No one can walk the path with you. No one can fight your battles. Pain can stop you, or it can shape you, but that decision is yours to make. And often, that decision isn't grand or dramatic. It happens in the small moments. It's when you get out of bed in the morning, even when you want to stay under the covers. It's when you try one more time, even after failing. It's when you tell yourself, today I'll take one more step. Now, I ask you, what will you choose to do with the pain you're facing today? This moment, this exact moment, can be the turning point in your life. And if this video is helping you see that, subscribe to the channel and share it with someone who needs this message. Your choice can be the beginning of something extraordinary, not just for you, but for those around you. Human history is full of examples of people who faced the greatest adversities and still chose to fight, turning pain into something that left a mark on the world. These stories remind us that even when everything seems lost, we hold immense power within us. Let me tell you about Terry Fox. He was a young Canadian, full of dreams and passion for sports. At just 18 years old, Terry was diagnosed with bone cancer, which led to the amputation of his right leg. For many, such a diagnosis would mark the end of an active life. But Terry refused to let his pain be just an obstacle. He decided to turn it into a mission. With a simple prosthetic leg, Terry began what he called the Marathon of Hope, an epic run across Canada to raise funds for cancer research. He ran nearly 26 miles every day, enduring excruciating pain, rain, wind, and the emotional weight of his battle. Even when the cancer returned and spread to his lungs, he kept going, determined to complete the marathon. Terry didn't finish the entire journey, but the impact of his courage was so profound that it inspired millions around the world. To this day, his name is synonymous with perseverance, and his campaign has raised hundreds of millions of dollars for cancer research. What can we learn from Terry? That pain is not the end. It's the beginning of something that can be greater than we ever imagined. He didn't let adversity define him. He turned it into a platform to create a legacy that changed lives. Now, I want to ask you, what can you do with the pain you're facing? It may seem impossible right now, but remember, every small step you take toward your goal builds something eternal. And if this message is touching you, share this video. Perhaps your action will be the push someone else needs to begin their own journey. When we think about legacies, we often imagine something far away, something that will only be recognized when we're gone, or when we've achieved great things. But here's the truth that few understand. A legacy isn't something you leave behind when you're gone. It's something you build while you're alive. Every choice you make, every step you take, every act of courage, no matter how small, is shaping your legacy right now. It's not about grand gestures, it's about consistency. It's about waking up every morning and saying, "Today I will give my best, even if the pain tries to stop me." Think of a lit candle. It may seem small, but the light it casts can illuminate an entire room. And if another candle is lit from it, and then another, suddenly a single act becomes a chain of lights that breaks through the darkness. Your legacy is like that. Every time you choose to face pain, overcome a challenge, or help someone, you light a candle. And that light can spread in ways you can't even imagine. Look at your life right now. Maybe you're thinking, but I'm not anyone special. What can I do that really matters? Let me tell you something. There's no one in the world like you. No one with your story, your vision, your strength. You are unique. And that's exactly why your legacy matters. Today, in this very moment, you have the chance to start something. It doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just start. Write the first page of your book. Take that step you've been afraid to take. Speak to someone who needs to hear your voice. Your legacy begins now, and it's built in the small things you do every single day. And here's the challenge. Think of one thing, just one, that you can do today to light that spark. Write it in the comments and inspire others to do the same. And if this video is helping you see the power you hold, subscribe to the channel. Together, we can build something that goes far beyond pain, something that leaves an eternal mark. Your legacy begins now, and it's built in the small things you do every single day. And here's the challenge. Think of one thing, just one, that you can do today to light that spark. Write it in the comments and inspire others to do the same. And if this video is helping you see the power you hold, subscribe to the channel. Together, we can build something that goes far beyond pain, something that leaves an eternal mark. The journey is long, and sometimes it feels lonely. But I want you to remember this. Every step you take, every battle you face, every small victory you achieve is building something extraordinary. You're leaving a mark, even if you don't see it yet. The pain may feel unbearable right now, but it's temporary. What you do with it, however, is eternal. That's what will be remembered. That's what will inspire others. You have within you the ability to create something no one else can. And the best time to start is now. So I challenge you. Today, choose to turn your pain into fuel. Write in the comments what you'll do to take the next step. And if this video inspired you, subscribe to the channel. Because this journey of overcoming and growth doesn't have to be lonely. We're all in this together, lighting our candles, spreading our light, and building something that goes far beyond ourselves. Remember, pain is temporary, but the legacy of your struggle is eternal.